It is lights out and away we go. Hello, racers. Welcome to episode 40 of the Harder Soft F1 podcast. I am your host, Adrian Huff, and I'm joined by my co-host, RJ McCullough. What's up, RJ? It is 2023. We're starting off the new year.
Yes.
I
Hello,
guess this would
good
be
sir.
considered season 2? Yes.
Yeah, that's my first question to you. Do we consider this season 2, or do we wait until like the preseason testing to consider it season 2?
It's a
I
good
don't think
question.
we started yet at this time last year, considering we're only 40 in. So I think technically we wait until a couple more weeks till they roll into Bahrain.
Yeah, maybe episode 53 can be the start of our season 2.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see how the timing lines up for that.
Yeah,
But
we'll have to see.
we got some. There's obviously not a ton of F1 stuff. We got obviously our driver rankings. Now we're at number 10 to number 6. Our predictions for 2023. We have Podium this week. 3 shows, reality or TV game shows you'd want to be on. And we have some other F1 stuff to talk about. But first, some sobering news in the motor car or rally car world, however you want to put it, and also otherwise in the sports world. So I'll let you start with Ken Block if you want to take that. I'm not too familiar with Ken Block, to be honest with you. Obviously, I've seen the news, but yeah, I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah, me either, admittedly. I was not extremely familiar with him, until hearing about his passing, but he was definitely very well known in the motorsport world. He's a multi-time world champion for rally driving. He's been doing it since like 2005. He's raced for Monster, for Red Bull, I believe, and he's I don't think he started Hoonigan. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I always think it's Hooligan, but it's Hoonigan, their racing division. But yeah, very, very, very sad. Wishing, of course, his family and friends the best wishes, and hopefully they're able to mourn together. It's just very sad. 2023 has started really, really terribly. Age really isn't a factor. It's tragic no matter what. But 55 is just, he's lived such a full life, but 55 still just seems like way too soon, especially knowing, it was an accident. So very, very sad to hear about that. And also, yes, some other tragic news happened in the sporting world on your NFL team, actually. So if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm wearing my Bills hat. Obviously, I am a massive Bills fan. I've talked about that before on this podcast. But Damar, Hamlin, for those who, I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, but the safety on the Bills collapsed on the field last night. So that's been pretty scary and again, sorry to use the same word, but sobering to see guys get injured and bad things happen all the time in sports. But to see it to that extent where they literally went into cardiac arrest and they had to do CPR on the field to revive him. So yeah, we're still sort of waiting on updates for that. I shouldn't say waiting on updates. It's a person's life. But the latest we got was about 45 minutes ago. So we're recording at about 8:30 on Tuesday evening. So this could be outdated by the time you hear it. But his uncle just said about 45 minutes ago that his nephew is on a ventilator now, but he's improved to 50% oxygen needed after being at 100%. He's still sedated, but the main focus is recovering to breathing on his own and healing his lungs. So a positive update, but still in critical condition and certainly not out of the weeds yet. So obviously our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. Again, sort of tough to talk about at this point. Don't really know which direction it's headed in. Can only hope for the best. In terms of the Bills, I know it's obviously way down the pecking order in terms of priority, but it does throw a question of the schedule, what they're going to do, because they already said they're not going to play the game this week, and then there's only one more week left in the season, and the way the seeding for the playoffs goes, the Bills there's three teams: the Bills, the Bengals, who they're playing, and the Chiefs are all battling for first place, which gets you a bye to the second round, so you don't have to play an extra round of playoffs. So it is important. Obviously, not nearly as important as someone's life, and it was hard to watch the guys on the field, their reactions to it. So yeah, those are some tough things to sort of take in over the weekend. I'm not sure if you want to add anything on that before we move on to a bit more positive football news.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very, very scary. The clip, I mean, I don't recommend anybody watch it, but it's tough. It's very hard to watch. A lot of people were questioning why they cut away, but I mean, you don't want to watch them do CPR on somebody. I mean, it's just really, really, really scary stuff. So hopefully he makes a full, speedy recovery. Yeah, also, this isn't really sports related, but I mean, Jeremy Renner, I don't know if you've heard about him either, but he had that accident as well. But he just, right before we started recording, posted a selfie. He's alive. He can speak. I don't know what, as far as his recovery process is going to be like, but yeah, again, just really, really scary stuff. So, yeah, just be careful out there, everybody.
Yeah. That just reminded me. Have you seen the new? It's called Glass Onion, the new Knives Out movie. It's on Netflix now.
I have not. I want to. So mane people have asked me if I've seen it. I'm always like, no, not yet.
It's just there's a little Jeremy Renner moment in there, but yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, on a little bit more positive note, your Bulldogs UGA won the, I don't even know what you would call it, the semifinals in the college football playoffs. So you guys are on to the finals again.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to watch any of that? And is your family part of the crazy Georgia Bulldogs fans that just bark whenever they're watching games?
I know multiple people who do that and have done that. But no, my sister goes to UGA. Don't want to give too much info, but yeah, she's a student at UGA, so my whole family's massive fans of the Georgia Bulldogs. So yeah, it's looking like we're going to have back-to-back national championships, knock on wood, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's insane that ending to that game. I was not able to watch it live. I was a little preoccupied, but I mean, it is the stuff of nightmares if you're that Ohio kicker.
Yeah.
Because missing that shot, at midnight is gotta be one of the hardest things ever. But I mean, it's gotta haunt him to think, forever. Like, what if I made that? It'd be a legend for the rest of my life. But now I'm ruined. So hopefully the good people of Ohio aren't too rough on him, because yeah, that's tough. But amazing finale to that game. That shit was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, both the games. The Michigan, what was it? TCU.
Yeah,
that game was really good as well. I'm just drawing a blank on TCU, but yeah, both games are crazy. So I don't know if Georgia's going to stop TCU. I hope it's at least close, but we'll see. And I guess that game is a week or two away. We have a Canada-USA hockey semifinal tomorrow, so Wednesday, January 4th at 6:30 Eastern Time. Canada will play the United States. I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if the World Juniors are big in your area, but it's really big. Obviously, anything hockey here, but it's best players under 20. So there's a couple NHLers and there's a guy for Canada, Connor Bedard. He's like the next, whatever, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, whatever you want to say. And he scored a goal last night in overtime in the quarterfinals. It was just unbelievable. Well, I'll try to put the video in here. He just dekes through like the whole team at overtime.
Slides it again. Overtime winner sends Canada to the semi.
So it was, watch that. Canada won in overtime, so I went from that high to switching to the Bills game and seeing the Damar Hamlin stop. So kind of a roller coaster of emotions, but
sure.
Yeah, we can kind of move on from that. But I will be hopefully rubbing it in your face when Canada hopefully beats the U.S. tomorrow night.
I don't know if it was the guy that you said, but I've been seeing. I can't remember his name, but I've been seeing so many comments about somebody from that under 20 league that is just apparently going to be the next Wayne Gretzky. Apparently, people are saying that he's like magic to watch. Is he Canadian or so he's so he's Canadian? Of course he is.
Yeah, of course, same guy.
So
he's
how long until he's going to be in the NHL?
It's his draft year this year, so as of
wow.
late June, he'll get drafted to a team around there, and then next season he'll be in the NHL. So hopefully he can win us a gold and then go off to the NHL.
I'm not sure how the NHL draft works, but I'm guessing he's a first-round pick for sure.
Yeah, he should go first overall.
Wow.
So it probably won't go to a very good team, but he can be part of the turning it around.
Yeah, he'll be the next Michael Jordan. Or I guess Wayne Gretzky would be a better example.
Yeah, I mean, that's a high bar, but who knows? Hopefully,
extremely.
First thing to worry about beating the U.S. and then winning the gold.
Yeah.
We'll see. But another, I don't know a bit somber, but it's Michael Schumacher's birthday today. I was surprised to see that he's 54. To be honest with you, I thought he was a little bit older, but happy birthday to one of the GOATs. I'm not quite going to say the GOAT because of my allegiance to Lewis, obviously. But happy birthday to Michael Schumacher. Obviously, we both grew up. Pretty much he was the only thing I was aware of in terms of Formula One as a kid. So,
same.
Obviously, a lot of people's favorite driver and created a lot of memories for people. And very sad what him and his family are going through. If anyone hasn't seen the Schumacher documentary on Netflix, I definitely recommend checking that out. Any comments on Mr. Schumacher? Where does he rank for you? I'd say in the overall best drivers of all time.
Man, that's tough. I think it's really so hard to compare him and Lewis. It really is because I think you could call them both the greatest of all time for their time, but
yeah,
it's just so impossible to compare them. I think to say one is better than the other just because the machinery that they were working with is just so much different. The tracks were different, the rules were different. There's just a lot of differences that you can't really compare. But I mean, I think there's arguments for either of them. But yeah, it really also shows you how crazy it is and how young he really was when he had his unfortunate incident almost a decade ago at this point. So, almost 10 years. That is really crazy. But yeah, keep fighting, Michael. It's amazing that just everything that they talked about in the documentary is really, really incredible. So highly recommend everybody go watch that. I think we've talked about that multiple times, but it is one of the greatest documentaries I've ever watched. It is really amazing. So happy birthday to Michael Schumacher. Hopefully his family is able to celebrate today. So
yeah, hopefully. And I was seeing a bunch of pics obviously online, and it's crazy how much, I know it's his dad, but it's insane how much him and Mick look alike. There's some of the pictures where you would swear it's like a Photoshop that it's just identical. So I'll be happy to have Mick along the ride with Mercedes this year. Hopefully another World Championship season for the boys.
Yes. We'll have to see about
season,
that.
A couple updated countdown numbers for you. So, to March 5th, lights out, first race, 61 days. 61 days.
2 months.
Preseason testing, February 23rd. 51 days. By the time people are listening to this, at a minimum, 50, or maximum, I guess, 50 days. We're getting there. It's really not that far off. So we have that, and then I haven't done the numbers on this one, but there's a couple. We have 3 livery release dates announced so far. We have AlphaTauri, February 11th.
Yep.
Aston Martin, February 13th. And Ferrari, February 14th. So
hell yeah,
we're getting close. We're just over a month away from livery reveals, and I'm sure someone's going to want to come out first and make a statement and be maybe late January even. So definitely moving on up in that. Are there any specific liveries you'd say you're more excited or less excited to see this year?
I was just about to say, I think it's impossible for me to predict right now, but whatever team has like a big change up, I think is going to win in my book. Because Red Bull, they might could have a deeper, more dramatic blue, or the Aston Martin could have a brighter, shinier emerald or jade or whatever the hell it is. But I mean, if Alpine bring an all pink livery, or if McLaren go with their Gulf livery, like something crazy, or even Haas, if they lean more into their like red, white, and blue, like put some cool stars on there, make it more American.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
you could
three
really
American races, right? So
yeah, exactly.
It would behoove them.
It's possible, but whatever team goes way more or goes all out, I want to see some big changes. So
yeah, I'm hoping Alfa Romeo makes some big changes because now there's the Audi partnership and they're kind of winding the clock down until that. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think it'll be as Italian. I don't know. I really have no idea. Just speculation, pure speculation. But yeah, I would say Alpine has probably the most. What's the right term I'm looking for? Like biggest difference between it could be really bad, it could be really good. Like
yeah,
no idea.
They have some serious potential to be good or potential to be bad.
And yeah, I think like Red Bull and Mercedes will probably be what they usually are, but Ferrari, who knows? Probably the classic. I mean, they made a big deal about something they posted with a different color of red, but it doesn't look that different to me. But yeah, I mean, Aston Martin always comes out with something nice, so definitely
they do.
Lots to look forward to in that regard.
Absolutely. I will
say time of year. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was going to say to Aston Martin, or not Aston Martin, to Alfa Romeo's credit, their rims are my favorite from the 2022 season. The little Italian almost look that they have with the green and the red. Oh, that looked so nice to me. Which, I mean, props to McLaren's Google rims, but the Alfa Romeo, their rims are just mwah, they're so nice. They're so Italian. But yes, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna actually just say the McLaren ones I like. So yeah, there you go. I prefer the McLaren. You prefer the Italians.
I love the McLaren.
We're an Italian Jesus guy. I know you were upset that he didn't get named to that seat this year. I know you were really pulling for him. I think your words were Zhou Guan Yu out, Giovinazzi in. I think that's what you said, but I mean, I probably had it written down somewhere.
Oh God! If that was my opinion, I don't hold that opinion anymore.
No, you didn't say that. Okay, something I do have written down though. Our driver rankings. We're halfway through. Not going to go through all of them, but quickly, my last three, 13, 12, 11, were Magnussen, Bottas, Piastri. Yours were Magnussen, Ocon, Gasly.
Yep.
So starting at number 10, and this again is 2023 predictions, driver rankings. Going backwards, 20 is number 1. So at number 10, Adrian, who do you got?
Starting it off. Okay, so I have got Gasly was number 11. So number 10, I've got Valtteri Bottas listed as number 10. I'm hoping for some slight improvement from Bottas next year.
Bottas. Okay. I have Gasly. Okay, you already put down. More of a car issue than him issue.
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, I'd like to see him higher, but who knows what the future holds. He's in a new car, so he's got to learn it. Number 9, I have Alonso. I have him a lot higher than his teammate, Lance Stroll, who I have at 14. But in the new car, I don't think Alonso's going to thrive. I think he's going to have a few good races, but I think we're going to hear a lot of complaining from Mr. Fernando Alonso this season.
So for number 9, I have Oscar Piastri alongside your Alonso.
Okay.
So you have Piastri quite low. You have him at 11, which that's not as low as I remembered. I think I would, if you had asked me just off memory, I might have said 13 or something. But yeah, I'm hoping for. I honestly, I hope it's better than even my assumption. I really do hope it's better than a 9, because I think 9 would be quite disappointing, to be honest. If he's at your level that you're predicting, then that's abysmal. But
well, I mean, what did Ricardo finish this year?
Abysmal. Worse than that.
So I mean,
I think he was 14th or 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first year, that's the steep learning curve. A bunch of new tracks for him. I obviously hope he does well. I mean, it'd be so cool to see A, their car be up there, and then B, I can't even say fighting for a championship, and imagine him just even fighting for podiums on a regular basis, or like 10 races this year he's fighting for a podium. That would be so cool. Even 5 races,
true.
like just getting in the mix for a podium would be really cool. Him and Lando battling, that'd be cool. So, on to number 8. Who do you got?
Number 8, we have Fernando Alonso.
Okay. Alonso. Any reasons?
I'm hoping. Yes, I'm hoping that. Yes, I think it's safe to assume that Aston Martin are going to have some struggles, but I think Fernando showed this year that he is capable of some serious driving. He's got some major drive still left in him. So, that being said, I think if Aston Martin can just slightly improve their vehicle from 2022 to 2023, then Fernando will be unstoppable, potentially, in the midfield, that is, in the midfield battle. Because, I mean, if that Alpine had just been able to go the distance, he would have been in a much, much better position. I mean, he already outshined Ocon so much, but he has less points than Ocon, which is crazy to me. So, I do have hopes for him. I was considering having him a little bit higher, but I think it's a safe assumption for me. But who do you have for number 8?
One of our biggest variants coming up, I have Ocon here, Esty Bestie. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I think he's going to have a sneaky good year, having the experience in the car. And going against his other Frenchman, I think it's going to kind of rile him up. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a definite drop-off from here to the next couple guys, and then another drop-off. So kind of going to go tier, like the tiers kind of begin here. But, yeah, so I've got Ocon there. You had him at 12. Yeah, you had him at 12. So,
yeah,
big gap there. But, yeah, I think we might have the same guy in the next 2, but we'll see. I'm up next here. Pardon me. I hope this guy finishes higher, but given where the gap in the cars, I just can't see it. So, pains me to say, I think Lando Norris is going to finish 7th.
I called that.
Yeah. Is that what you had as well?
Yes, it is. And I think our number 6s are for sure going to be, I don't know, to be fair. I guess we'll see, but Norris was almost number 6 for me. But it made no sense to not put this person over Lando in my mind. So I guess I'm starting this one. So
you are.
I've got Russell for number 6.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm fighting words. All right.
Yeah, because I did my top 5 first, and I don't know, just with my hopes and predictions for this upcoming season. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That was tough. But yeah, you can see why it made no sense for me to put Norris potentially above him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought for sure we were gonna have the same guy next at number 6, and there's a number 5 through 1 is gonna be very interesting because it looks like you don't have very high hopes for Mercedes next year. Whereas I don't know, for some reason I just think they're gonna be very good. I can't quite put my finger on it. I have, without further ado, I have Carlos Sainz.
Ooh.
As number 6 next year. I think Charles is gonna kind of pull away and assert himself as number 1, and the rest of it we'll go through next week. But yeah, some very interesting choices here for both of us. Definitely shaping up our draft, which we're gonna have to figure out that. Obviously, next week will be the last of these, and then maybe then we'll do our draft. I don't know, late January, early February. We have to do it before preseason testing, otherwise it wouldn't be fair, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, sometime around between February 1st and February 20th or whatever. We'll figure that out.
We'll get it done.
That was that. A couple of quick
Your
things.
science pick is interesting to me.
Yeah. Well,
but I can't say I disagree with it. And to comment on your remark about Mercedes, I don't think I definitely am not underestimating Mercedes. I don't know. I'm just hoping that it's going to be a really, really stiff 3-way competition. But yeah, you'll have to see where I have Lewis. We'll see.
Well, you know what Toto always says? Everybody has a target on their back for next season.
He was talking about 2023.
Hey, no. He was preemptively talking about 2024. He knew.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he knew. He's a step ahead of all of us. Don't ever underestimate Mercedes and Toto.
Never.
You can underestimate George. I'll let you get away with this. But if number 5 on your list is Lewis Hamilton, I might just get up and walk away.
Oh, my God.
I have to take a lap.
You'll have to wait for next week to see.
Yes, that's a nice tease. Next thing is something that you sent to me, which was really cool. I mean, there's not really the coolest way to explain it. I'll try and put as much of it in the video as I can without getting it taken down. But it was how old? So it was Verstappen versus Max Verstappen versus Charles Leclerc karting. So obviously they grew up together, but it was pretty like, I don't know. They had a broadcast with multiple camera angles and pretty decent. Like the announcer wasn't the best, but what do they kept calling Max, the Flying Dutchman?
Yeah, something. Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, it was really cool to see them just going back and forth, just 1 and 2. Charles started on pole. Max, we'll let people watch for themselves. But yeah, you're the one that sent it to me, and Max is your boy. So what did you think watching young Max and seeing Jos Verstappen on the side there, just probably muttering like, "You're not good enough," something dastardly, but
it makes me happy that they documented all of that because, I mean, there's some really, really amazing pictures of, not even pictures, but video of a lot of our modern day F1 drivers that, like George and Max and Charles. So we have lots of video of them in their early days. So it's very cool, and it ties into the documentary, or the portion of the documentary that they did about Max Verstappen after he won his first championship. It's where that sort of viral clip came from about Yost talking about how he trained Max to be so good in the wet. And it was that when everybody, of course you've seen the clip, when everybody went in and packed up their stuff when it started raining, he forced Max to stay out in the freezing weather and learn. And he had these crazy strategies about how during certain races, Max wasn't actually allowed to pass people if it was raining, whether it was in practice or whatever it was, just because he wanted him to always be learning. So whether you think that is a healthy coaching mentality or not, I think it's really, really, really cool that we're able to look back on those battles that these guys had when they were children, now, and they're literally driving the fastest racing cars on the planet. So very cool to me.
Surprising to me that Jos can remember any of that, seeing as he was drunk for Max's entire childhood. But
ooh.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Right. Bazinga.
Burn.
I don't know why that word came to mind, but it fit the gist. All right. Moving on. I just saw this the other day. There's really not much news on it. Even their website, I have to admit, is pretty poor for it. There's announced an IndyCar video game coming in 2023. As someone that went to the race this year just down the street from my place in Toronto, I'm obviously going to get it because I want to race around Toronto. So just for that, I'm going to get it. But do you think you're going to get it? Do you think it'll interest you? Yeah, I'll leave it there. Do you think you're going to get it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get any. I'll get any game that my friends will play with me. But
My friend.
yeah, if it's unless it's like it's review bomb before it comes out and everybody's like it's the worst racing game of all time. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've learned quite a bit about Formula One, especially when I first started getting into the sport from F1 2018 was the first one that I started playing. So yeah, absolutely. I would love to play that.
Yeah, I think just as you were kind of alluding to, it'll get us more like acclimated to learning the little ins and outs and rules and stuff that differentiate IndyCar from F1. Because
Yeah.
I did notice there was definitely quite a few of them when I was at the race this year, and hopefully you'll be coming with me next year. So yeah, that'll be fun, and obviously, like I said, it'll be cool to be driving around Toronto.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, we can now move on, if you're all ready, to our podium. We haven't done one of
Yes.
these in, I don't know, maybe a couple of months now. But yeah, basically just as it sounds, top three, 1, 2, 3, of just general topics for each of us. And this week's topic, 3 shows, the top 3 shows that you would want to be on. And this isn't like scripted, this is like a reality TV. Well, you can argue whether there was a script or not, but real shows, reality TV, game shows, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I think, how do we determine who goes first? It doesn't really matter. You can go. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, it's not really a draft, so we can
No.
have a little bit of overlap for our podiums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think we go
reality
reverse
TV.
order.
Yeah, so we'll start with number 3. So this is going to be a little bit strange, but this is a show that I've grown up watching my entire life, and I don't even know if you could count this as a game show, but they call it a game show. So number 3 for me, I would love to go on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah, that counts for sure. Okay. Whose line is it?
Love that
That'd be,
show.
That'd be nerve-wracking to go on there. I
Oh,
love that show
incredibly.
too. But you gotta be quick. You gotta be smart to go on there.
Oh
And
my
funny,
God,
obviously,
yes.
but yeah, that's good.
When you're up against Wayne Brady is a tough one.
Jeez. Okay. I will go my number 3. This is also a show I grew up watching. Very well-known show. It's switched hosts many times. I don't have it higher on the list because you don't make that much money on this show, and it's a kind of a group thing. But Family Feud, I think it would be very funny to either go with a group of friends, or one day if this podcast gets big enough and we have producers and everything, hard or soft Family Feud group gathering, whatever the case may be, family, friends, whatever. I think it would be a lot of fun to do a Family Feud and go on there and meet Steve Harvey. So that is my number 3. We'll just go the same way we do our other one. So I'll go next. Number 2 for me. Very little, not very well known show. This is from my childhood. I watched it almost every day after school. I had to check to see if it aired in the US, and it did. It aired on ESPN and ESPN2 from July 2004 to September 2006 for a total of 80 episodes. This show is called Stump the Schwab. Stump the Schwab.
Stump
An
the
unbelievable
Schwab.
show. Contestants test their sports knowledge in a trivia challenge against the Schwab. Now, if you picture what this guy would look like, just a guy that's going to know the answer to any sports trivia
I'm
question.
looking at him right
Picture
now.
He's exactly what you would imagine he'd look like. Sounds exactly
Yeah.
what you'd imagine he looked like. And this guy was good. This guy was really good. But I used to love watching that. So much fun. So I would want to go back and play that and see if I could stump the Schwab. So that's my number 2.
Damn, that is a deep cut. I love it.
Yeah. I'm glad it came to me, and I was real glad. It was a deep pull for sure. So
This is an honorable mention because this isn't a game show, but for some reason, looking at the screenshots of that show, it reminds me of a show called Cheap Seats that used to air on ESPN. I don't know if you ever watched that. There was these two like twin brothers that they appear in a couple of movies like Wild Hogs way back in the day.
I know who those guys are. Yeah.
That they used to have a show called Cheap Seats, and it was a sports show where they would like watch sports bloopers. It was like me and my dad's favorite show. So honorable mention to cheap sheets, cheap seats. But yeah, number 2. Surprisingly, I also put Family Feud. My family actually, I was too young at the time, but I went with my entire family to a Family Feud audition about a decade ago. So that process was crazy. They did not get selected, obviously. But yeah, it would be amazing to go on Family Feud.
Yeah, that would be great. There's Family Feud Canada. I was supposed to go, but I may have slept in that day. My brother and my mom and a couple of people went to a taping of Family Feud. So
that's awesome.
Must be interesting.
Who hosts that?
Jerry D. I don't know if you would know him.
Jerry D.
Or down there.
How does he compare to Steve Harvey?
It's tough. No one's Steve Harvey. I mean, he's like a Canadian comedian, kind of like sports shtick. He used to do like I think Jerry D. Sports Reporter, where you'd just be like overly annoying to athletes. This is just like a funny, yeah. And he has a show, Mr. D, where he's in Canada here. It's a pretty funny show. He plays like a teacher. Yeah, and he just like make fun of his students and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. He won, what's that show called? Like Last Comic Standing or something like that? I think he won that like 10 years ago.
Oh, shit. Okay, wow.
Yeah, he's good. So yeah, that is... So you're up for number 1 then, right?
Yes.
Or did you just do 2 in a row?
No, that was number 2.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
number 1. This show has been a staple of my life. My family and I have watched this show my entire life. I have had a dream to go on this show my entire life. It is Survivor on CBS. I have wanted to go on Survivor my entire life, and I still plan on it. I have not filmed an audition tape. Me and my roommate want to. We've talked about it for like multiple years now, so we need to just get off our asses and do it. But yes, Jeff Probst. I want to meet Jeff Probst. I want to find immunity idols. I need to compete for the challenges. It sounds like a dream. Most people it would sound like a complete nightmare, but not to me. I want to starve. It sounds like an amazing adventure. I want to do it.
I've been accused of being a picky eater before in my life, so I don't know how I would do on that show.
Lots of rice. Yeah, no.
I like rice, but it's more of the seafood related items.
I see.
That don't really do it. And most of those shows are on islands and stuff, so
yep.
Probably have to tap out around day 4.
Yeah, couldn't do all 39 days.
No chance. Although, I mean, I'm sure there's some secret little food things going on behind the scenes, but I don't know. I'm surprised no one's written, like, they must have to sign a huge NDA. I'm surprised no one's written, or maybe I just haven't seen, like a kind of tell-all behind the scenes of Survivor. Because there's definitely some stuff that's not as real as they make it look.
Oh, for sure.
Just like
a lot of cast members have talked about little secrets about the show. A couple of them have TikToks, actually.
Okay.
They talk about sort of like how the the audition process goes, or the day-to-day. There is some like behind-the-scenes footage where it kind of takes you out of it, and you see like a wide shot, and then you see like all the contestants chilling in their tribe on the beach or whatever, but then it pans out and there's 30 crew members standing around them, so it takes away the immersion a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My number 1 is a show I've watched also almost every day growing up, and when I first moved to Toronto with my friend Kevin, we would watch this show, and then Jeopardy every day. The show is Wheel of Fortune.
Oh.
I know it's a little hokey, but if there's any show that I could go on, I think I would make the most money is Wheel of Fortune. Somehow, I don't know why, I'm really good at Wheel of Fortune. It's not that it's that hard, but I'm really good at Wheel of Fortune. It's one of my skills. So I would choose Wheel of Fortune, hopefully not end up in one of those viral videos of me making an idiot of myself. Because when people do mess up on Wheel of Fortune, it's pretty bad. So I would like to be able to say Jeopardy, but, once in a few times playing Jeopardy, you'll get that lucky round at home where you do well. But realistically in person wouldn't go so well. So yeah. For me, Family Feud, Stump the Schwab, Wheel of Fortune.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, those are my 3. What were your 3 again?
Whose Line Is It Anyway, Family Feud, and Survivor.
All right, awesome. So,
Yes.
aside from the podcast, I don't know, I didn't really clear with you, but you didn't delete it off the list, so I'm good. I'm sure you're okay to talk about it. Otherwise, we can cut this. But yeah, aside from the podcast, you've been telling me you're working on some pretty cool stuff. So do you want to, I don't know how much you want to talk about it, or if you want to talk about it, but if you would, here's your platform.
Yeah, for sure. I've just got some like music stuff that I'm working on my own personal channel. Still going to probably be working on that for the next couple of weeks. Planning on releasing a mixtape. Not exactly sure exactly how many songs will be on that. But yeah, that's hopefully going to be coming out within the next couple of weeks. I will make sure to bring that up again once I actually have something to play or to show everybody. But yeah, it should be fun. Just a fun, silly little comedy project that I'm working on. So it's going to be cool.
I don't know, sounds awesome. Well, we'll have to get you to plug that
Yes.
whenever it's coming out to be released. And we have officially finally launched our Twitch page. I made it today. I did a test Twitch, if that's what you call it. Did a test stream, just a half an hour one. I don't know if it
Nice.
saved or not. I don't think it did, but it's changed the settings, so now it's going to save. So going forward, it'll
Nice.
save. We're going to do. I put a time in here that obviously we can change, but tentatively, see if you agree. We're going to try and do at least one stream a week. We'll do it on YouTube and Twitch. We're going to try and do this Thursday, January, what's that, 5th? This Thursday, January
Yes.
5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if anyone wants to tune in, we would appreciate that.
Yes.
Probably going to have to go around with 0 viewers, one or two viewers for a little while. But yeah, if
That's
anyone
okay.
can give us a follow and some views on there, that'd be cool. We both play the game so much, we may as well try and grow on there as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely check that out. That's Hard or Soft F1 on Twitch. So yeah, we're probably gonna try and do a GP tonight, tomorrow night, but definitely Thursday night we'll be on there. So we'll post about it on our socials as always. We have our Facebook page up and running, our YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Well, sorry, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is at Hard or Soft F1. So yeah, and Adrian, any last thoughts?
Follow us on our socials.
Follow us on our socials, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, please check us out, comment, and all that stuff. Let us know what you think about the Twitch. Hopefully, there won't be any technical difficulties, but given our history, there's bound to be something. So, yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for sticking along. You made it 40 episodes with us. That's pretty good. We're almost at a year in, so almost on season 2. Let us know who you thought had a better podium this week. We posted that on our socials as well. So,
Yes, the poll. Vote
a poll. Yes.
on our Twitter.
All right. Yes. All that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching as always. Adrian, that was a lot of fun. We'll chat again next
Yes.
week, but I will see you shortly on F1 22.
Peace.